The only reason why these people are telling you that there is only one way is because they want to sell you a course. And I'm not selling you a course. I already made more than enough money. If you do this, you will be slower, you will be less successful, and it will take longer than if you would just do what you and focus on getting and providing a lot of value. So here is exactly how to not waste your early 20s. And I just turned 26, I made some good experiences, some bad ones, and there were some ways in which I achieved goals that seemed relevant to many people on the outside and that gave me money, that gave me status, but maybe I shouldn't have achieved them. Maybe it was a waste of time. And I want to spare you that, and I want to help you figure out what you should actually go for and what you should really avoid doing in your early 20s, which is what most people are doing in their early 20s. The entire crowd is walking into a certain direction. Doesn't mean that this direction is the right one for you. The whole problem that everyone is living by is that they are chasing money to get status, and they want the status because they want to get the women. We always think we're such developed beings and we're so smart and we're such great thinkers, but we humans are driven by our emotions a lot. We just have the desire, natural desire to have beautiful women in our lives, right? I mean, that's just biology. And we know that in today's day and age, status will massively help with that, money will massively help with that, okay? You can like that, you can not like that, but if you look at the facts, that's how it is, In our world, it's very asymmetrical. What do I mean by asymmetrical? If you are an average guy, an average Joe, you get no DM of a 10 out of 10 woman in your life ever, most likely, right? And if you are very successful, you make a lot of money, you look good, you have an interesting lifestyle, you will get an abundance of interest from hot women from 10 out of 10. Those two people that I just described have completely different worldviews and completely different perspectives on how easy it is to get women and what women want, right? So it's very asymmetrical, from almost no 10 out of 10 chance ever to an abundance of these options all the time, which almost starts to get annoying. That is interesting because that obviously explains why so many men are chasing money and status, right? Status being the primary factor here when it comes to mating for men, or as a criteria that women are looking for, even though most would not admit it. I know, yeah, but if you just look at the data and you look at studies, that's the fact. The problem now is most people do whatever it takes, whatever seems logical right now to get money and status. And I think that is a mistake, to be honest, in two kinds of ways. And the second one is really crazy, and the second one will make you think, what the hell, why am I doing this? First reason, you're here, put on this earth with some talents of yours, and in some areas you will naturally excel. You will naturally be better than other people, and in other areas you won't. In other areas, in fact, you will naturally be worse than other people, right? Because we're not all equal in terms of our talents. We have different talents, and that is good. If we all have different talents, different strengths, and different weaknesses, that makes a strong society. That can make us strong together. But that doesn't mean that not everyone is good at everything. We must accept that, right? And I know that this is hard today in a society where everyone is trying to tell us, oh, also men and women, we are exactly the same. We should do exactly the same things. I mean, yeah, of course we can, but we all have natural strengths and weaknesses. That's all I'm gonna say to that. And if you have strengths and weaknesses and just follow the newest agency model or the newest selling info products model because some guru told you so, it does not mean that this is the best thing for you. It does not mean that you're on the right path doing so just because some guru told you that this is the best business model in 2026. That is BS. The only reason why these people are telling you that there is only one way is because they want to sell you a course. And I'm not selling you a course. I already made more than enough money, okay? I'm good for a long period of time. So be very, very careful with what people tell you, with the dreams that people sell you out there. I'm not saying that the dreams, the destinations themselves are unrealistic, but the ways to get there are abundant, okay? There's not one way to get there. This is very, very important. And now we get to the second reason, okay? The way to get there, whatever a guru sells you, might be way slower for you because it's not connected to your natural strengths. If you do this, you will be slower, you will be less successful, and it will take longer than if you would just do what you love and focus on getting really good and providing a lot of value to a lot of people. Because on the one hand, imagine you have Frank, and Frank does whatever the hell is necessary to make money because he wants this one girl he was in high school with so bad, and then she has a different boyfriend. She's together with his old best friend, and this breaks Frank's heart, and now he thinks, I must get successful, I must be rich, and I will win her back. On the other hand, you have Bastian, and Bastian says, I don't give a shit about all of that, I just want to do what I love. And Bastian, what he loves is art. So he draws, he shares his art on Instagram, he shares how he draws his pictures, and then he tries to sell the pictures. And for years, nothing happens. And Frank is starting to make money after a couple of months. He's running an agency, as some guru on YouTube told him, and he's doing outreach. And he got his first few clients after a couple of months. And he's doing that. Meanwhile, Bastian is just doing what he loves, and he's doing it with so much passion. And that's why people start to follow him. And in the beginning, nothing much happens, aside from people following him and telling him that this is beautiful. But obviously no one is paying him. And then the years pass, and these are realistic stories from real life experiences. Frank has progressed with his agency, and she's making a little more money. He won that girl from high school back. They're now both way older, and he found out that she's not even the right one for him. He just wanted her so much because he couldn't have her. And by the way, that is a hidden learning here. You want things so much that you think you can't have. And once you can have them, you don't want them that much anymore. And he realizes he doesn't like what he does. That is horrible. And then he realizes he needs to do something different, which is fine. It's not the worst thing in the world, but now 3-4 years have passed and he needs to start over again. And starting over is hard. And most people never do it. That's why most people stay in a place where they don't love what they do. On the other hand, Bastian, he kept drawing his paintings. His audience kept growing and growing. And also some rich art investors started discovering his art through his social media because he just kept sharing, not because of greed for money, not because of search for meaning or status, but because he was passionate about what he did, and that's why he wanted to share it. And then these art investors started to pay him 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 per piece of art. Bastian is now making way, way more money than Frank, even though his goal was never to make a lot of money. And that is how it often turns out. It is often easier for you to become successful in a field where you're really passionate about it than in a field where you don't care about it at all, but some guru told you that is the only way in 2026 and how to make your first million. This is really big BS. Big BS where gurus are leading people into a wrong direction. And that's why I want to speak up, and that's why I want to make this video. So now you might ask yourself, nice, that makes sense, Felix. I should follow my passion. And by the way, you should still work very hard every single day and do your best. But it will be way easier doing that for something where you actually are passionate about. It will be almost impossible, and it will be devastating to do that for something that you don't care about at all, right? That is very, very important. Hard work is important. That matters a lot. Surrounding yourself with the right people, all of these things, showing up every single day, all of these things are vital. And all of these things, telling you from my own experience, are very, very hard if you're not passionate about what you are doing. how do I know what I'm passionate about? I will link you a quiz down below, which is a passion finder. You answer a couple of questions and it helps you identify what your true passion is, what you will really want to follow in your life, what will really fulfill you, because the amount of time you have on this planet Earth is so short, and spending it on something, building something great in an area where you are passionate about, with people that you love, respect, and can do meaningful work together with, in my opinion, the best way to spend your time on this planet Earth. So I can only recommend you to try and find your passion and try and follow it as good as you can.